We're excited though. We have our first guest. Are we?
Our first. Yes, I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun today.
I know you will love her. She actually introduced Kate. She did not introduce Kate and I, but like Kate had lunch with her, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love her." And then she was like, "You need to have lunch with Kate," and then we did.
Yes.
So because of this lovely individual, this whole thing has happened.
We might not have
And
ever actually gotten together in person
like
without
in
her.
person, no. And I think that I'm so thankful to her. So it's like the perfect first guest for us to have on our podcast. So I'm gonna pull up her Instagram. Let's see what
Okay,
she
pull up
says
her
about
Instagram.
herself.
She is so much fun. She has the most bubbly personality and has the most amazing like thrift finds
Oh, she
and
does.
like I don't want to say flips them, but I guess she kind of
She
flips
kind of
them.
does.
Um,
Like her eye that she has with a thrifted find, like what she can do with it is just beautiful.
yes. And
Okay,
I
I
feel
pulled it
like
up.
she is so fearless with color, but she's also so incredibly real. That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
things about her account is when she does real life with Alita.
Hmm.
And she's like, okay, I haven't cleaned out my pantry in 6 months. Here we go. Look at all
Oh
this.
yeah,
And I'm like,
because we all need it.
we all need it. We need
Okay,
that.
this is her bio that she says about herself.
Okay.
So, in her own words, she's listed as a designer. Says warm and welcoming home and heart. And I'm like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, treasure hunting for unique pieces, seeking Jesus and creating space for grace, obsessed with big earrings and DDP. What's DDP?
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Whoa! I do love a Diet Dr. Pepper.
I know, me
I'm
too.
really glad that you were able to translate. I was like, what? We have Jesus and DDP in the same bio. I'm missing something.
I'm fully versed in the diet soda
There you go.
vernacular and nicknames.
So excited to be with y'all. Y'all, the first episode was so good. I'm so
Aw,
proud
thank
of y'all.
It's been so much fun.
Good. You can tell y'all are having a good time.
We are. Like we had lunch and we're like talking back and forth and chatting about all these things that we really love. And we're like, somebody should record this. This is funny. And then we were like, we should record this.
Yes, exactly. Y'all are the ones. I love
Yeah.
it.
And
Yeah.
this week, everyone has been so supportive, and it's just been there. We didn't know what was going to happen, and we didn't really. I mean, I'm speaking for both of us here, I guess, but like we didn't really care if anything happened. We just wanted to like do it, and to
Right.
have people receive it so well has been really exciting.
That makes me I'm just so proud of y'all. I was like, I know them. I know them.
Well, I think it's so funny because one of the things we really like have bonded over, I guess, is that we both are people who are like, oh, I could do that. I can do that. Like there's no like hesitation. It's like, we'll figure it out. We'll do it. We'll figure it out.
Oh, that's good.
And so this has been a super fun experiment, I think, into that.
Yes.
Sort of
Well, I'm
idea.
proud of y'all. I wouldn't know how in the world to start a podcast. I am like, kudos to y'all. You've done so great.
Kate has carried this boulder up the hill.
It's just been a lot of Googling and
Yes.
figuring
I'm
it
sure.
out. It was already a little bit in my wheel. Like I felt pretty prepared for it. There have definitely been some things I've had to learn, but since I do like edit videos and stuff for people sometimes,
Yes.
I was like, okay, this is in my wheelhouse. This works.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, you had the tools.
I have the tools. Just got to figure out the other little bits. Still, I'm sure there are going to be things that we are figuring out for as long as we end up doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something to learn.
Sure.
Fine. It's
That's
part
what
of
you
life.
want. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
That
part
keeps
of
it
what makes
exciting.
it fun.
Emily, I want to hear how your job is.
It's just I if I could have written like a dream job description, it would be this. And
Yes.
I didn't know that I was allowed to want to do that. And I'm like, I get paid to put flowers together and make things pretty.
Neat. I love it. That's really lovely.
It's always been in my bio. It's like I like to find the magic in the mundane. I like to make everything a little bit more beautiful. Like that's kind of what I've built my platform on.
Yeah.
But this is just like a completely different level.
Yes. You get to do it on a bigger stage now. Yeah.
Exactly. It's been so good.
Yay.
Yay.
Do we want to do our questions? Alita, we did a little mini bio on you before you popped on here.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes.
Fun.
Is there anything you would like to add to your bio or describe yourself in your own words?
Wow. Just a sweet home Alabama girl who I love adding beauty. I love to create warm and welcoming spaces. It resonates when y'all are talking about, I know, Kate, family is so important to you, and that's something that's really important to me, and capturing those moments and adding to the beauty is actually a phrase. I used to use that hashtag on all of my posts when I first started out. There's this lovely song by Sarah Groves. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but she talks about adding to the beauty is just a picture of like God's redemption. And like we get to be a part of this beautiful story. And so that has always resonated with me too. Like, okay, yes, there are dumpster fires all around us. Like, where does God have us coming in and like speaking redemption and adding to this beauty? So I mean, I feel like that's this is a weird and wonderful platform to do it. I never would have imagined I would be doing it on Instagram or sharing it with people that I haven't necessarily met in person. But it brings me a lot of joy. So I guess that's maybe a little extra bonus about my bio.
I love it. Can I tell you about the first time I met you? Okay,
I'm
so
so nervous. I'm like, what?
no, okay, this is so good. So, I had been added to like the group chat of like all of these creators in Birmingham, and it was really cool. And we were doing like an Amazon Prime Day prep. So it's really cool if everyone gets in the same room and you can share tips and strategies about, how you approach things. And like that's kind of what we were going into. It was really casual though. We were going to Edgar's, love Edgar's.
Yes.
But it was
So
like, this
good.
is like my first impression of these women like in real life. And I had like a digital relationship with them, or like we DM'd or I'm in the group chat. But to meet everyone in real life, I was very nervous, excited. And I just remember like you were there and you were like the most warm, like welcoming person. And you were just like, come on, you can come sit over here. This is what we're doing. And like immediately just like, so I want to say disarming, but I don't know if that's a bad word or not, but it was just like, this is great. Like you're allowed to be here. Like here's a seat at the table for you. And like, welcome to our little group. And it was just immediately made me feel really comfortable. And I just wanted to tell you that because I'm so thankful. I think in this world in general, like you can always have like some imposter syndrome. And so it's like, am I really supposed to be here? Or like, what are they going to think about me? Or even, I don't know if it's me thing or if it's everybody thing, but like, is everyone going to be dressed up? Are they going to be cute? Are they going to be casual?
Right.
Like, I know that like this is like a big, like sit down at your computer, stare at spreadsheets all day kind of thing. Or I just didn't know. And you just immediately made me feel so welcome and like it was just great. So,
Oh, that makes me really happy. My motto is smother with love. And then,
yeah.
if I need to apologize later for coming in too strong, then I do.
No, it was so good though. It was what I needed, and
I'm
it was
glad. No, well, I felt like we hit it off immediately. I was like, oh, I like this girl. And so, I mean, and I'm bad about, we were supposed to be working on stuff, like
Right.
spreadsheets and whatnot. And I was like, but I just want to talk. Can we just
Right.
talk?
I just want to chat. If you share what you're doing, I'll share what I'm doing.
Yes.
But then, where are you from? What are you like?
Exactly.
It
Yes.
was the best though.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
That's great. I think you've coined a term too now, Emily. I think disarming kindness should be like
Aw.
a catchphrase.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the book I talked about last week, Unreasonable Hospitality.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I love that. I think it's so needed today. I mean, that's what we all want. We're all like looking for that. And so while we're looking for it, let's bring it ourselves, let's bring it to the table. So
Exactly.
yeah, I like
I
that.
love it.
That's great. Yes. Alita, you do bring instant kindness and like energy and welcoming.
Well, I love when because I started following Kate. Gosh, I mean, I feel like it feels like forever that I have
It
like
does.
known you, but then we finally met in real life, and I was like, oh, this girl is just even greater than I mean, it just makes me happy when you meet someone in real life and you're like, and that's what I love telling people. I'm like, she's just as sweet in person. I mean, it's like, oh, how great is that? Because you never know behind the scenes if somebody's I don't know. You'd be like, don't really meet her,
Don't meet your heroes.
I was like, oh, she's so kind. Like, I mean, I know I hugged you aggressively when we met at Real and Rosemary. I was like, oh, I should have asked if she was a hugger. But Kate, it has one of my favorite things is like, and she was so thoughtful. She brought a gift, which is like quintessential Southern, like that is such a good way to love. She brought the most beautiful pink nutcracker hand towels for me. And I was like, I mean, it was just it was so thoughtful because I was like, she gets me, like that is like my love language. And so it was just the sweetest. I love that y'all are friends. This makes me so happy.
It was so good. Yes.
That's great.
It's been the best.
It has been. It really has been. All thanks to you and our comfy shirt wardrobe.
I love it. I don't have many button-up shirts, but I wore my button-up dress today for y'all. So I want to be part of the cool kids club.
I love, yeah.
Well, I think the idea is like, it's not necessarily like it has to be a button-up shirt. I was actually planning on not wearing one, but I might have purchased this new one yesterday and I had to wear it, of course.
You had
love
to.
that.
I had to.
It's beautiful.
I think it's like whatever your like uniform is that you feel comfortable and put together and invest in. That's what Emily and I bonded over. And we were like, we should make a club for this, all because we said we wanted hats that said Button Up Society. I need to get on that. We got to work on getting those actually done.
I need one. Man.
Yeah. But I think that, we just like people want to look nice and presentable, but we also want to be comfortable.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And I don't want to be skipping ahead, but my version of the button-up shirt is a dress, because I feel like I can put on a dress and it's easier than putting on yoga pants and a t-shirt. It takes less time, but I'm going to look put together even if secretly nothing is put together. It's like I can run in somewhere or I could be in my car or whatever. And it's like, oh, it looks like she's got something to do.
Right? Where are you going?
Where is she going? That's right.
I'm
That's
going
right.
To Target. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
I'm going to look darn cute when I do it.
That's right.
Tell Target who's boss. Like,
yeah.
That's right.
I know what you're working with.
Target might tell me what is coming home with me today, but I'm telling them I'm coming in here ready to shop.
That's right.
Good vibes only, Target.
Yes. Yes. I have noticed I get more compliments from strangers if I wear a dress, which is so funny. Not creepy compliments, just, passing like, oh, I love your dress, like almost without fail. If I'm wearing a dress somewhere, isn't that funny? So I try to do the same. I try to always be like, oh, I love, I try to notice when people are wearing things that are fun too. But anyway, so that's a good confidence booster as well. Because I'm like, this really, but it's just it's nice to have somebody say, oh, and you don't even know me and you think this looks good. So.
Well, we talked about that a lot too, of like what makes you feel like yourself and like almost what makes you feel most comfortable in your own skin. I think that's a little bit different for everybody.
Right.
And then we also talked about things that like sometimes I feel like I'm wearing a costume if I'm wearing like something outside, not even outside my comfort zone. Like it could be something that I really like, but just sometimes I put something on, it feels like a costume, and other times I put things on, I'm like, oh yeah, this feels like me.
Yes.
This feels good. We were talking about before you popped on. This is a J. Crew Jackie sweater is another like Emily staple.
Yes.
I love them.
Mm-hmm.
And I love them since college. And I put it on today. I bought some new ones for my new job, right? I'm like, I gotta look cute. And then I told Kate, I was like, this outfit is screaming for a statement necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want one so bad. I went like this one, it's bright, but it's not huge. But I really just want to like wear a chandelier on my chest right now.
Yes. I'm way into the bigger chunky necklaces right now. Like something that has like a big chain and then like a gold heart. Like I got one like that.
I wore that yesterday. It was so good.
Love. Yes.
But I didn't want to wear it 2 days in a row.
I totally get that. Yeah. You gotta spread it out. Spread out the fun.
It's Heart Jewelry in Charleston. Do you know them?
No, but I feel like I need to.
Yes. And so it's charms. And so you buy like the charm necklace and then you can buy all of the different charms. And so I ordered mine because I was not in Charleston recently. It's been like a year and a half since I've been there. But you can like go back to the store and they'll like put more charms on it for you. It's something that you can like tell your story on, right?
Yes, that's a very classic. I love the idea of having something that tells a story. Yeah, it's really sweet.
But it's a little bit more fun and spunky than like a traditional. I don't know. I should have worn it.
You should have.
We'll share it on
week.
Instagram.
That's right. Send pictures so I can see it. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that idea. I was obsessed growing up with charm bracelets. Like my mom had a charm bracelet from when she was a teenager. And then I had one, I don't know, it was probably like my 12th birthday or something. She got me one and I had like a few little charms on it. And for like, I think I had a ballet slipper and like a megaphone and I don't remember what else was on there. It's at my parents' house. My daughter found it last time we were there.
Oh.
And she was like, I love this. So maybe it's a thing coming back.
I think so.
Yes,
what charm would you pick? What are you in a charm? Like the most you charm for a charm bracelet?
Now?
Yeah.
Current day?
Mm-hmm.
I would say like a book, maybe a camera, a book or a camera.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
Those are probably my things.
Those are really good.
Y'all?
I think I would say a bow. I'm very into like girly, I don't know, bows are having a moment. And so
They are.
I'm loving they're just I love the feminine vibe of that. But also there's something really no, it's a nice throwback. You know? I mean, I feel like bows haven't been as popular for a long
Yeah.
time. And it used to be very, I mean, in all of the decorating and all the time, so I like a throwback to that. So.
I do. I love a bow.
That's a good one.
So cute. I think I would have to be like a hydrangea or like a
Ooh.
garden rose.
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I'd have to be if I was a charm.
I love that. There's nothing better than a big fluffy hydrangea. I'm so ready.
Me
So
too.
ready.
I've got my fake ones out. I'm like ready. I'm like, can the ones in my yard please grow, please?
Oh,
I'm
mine
ready.
looks so sad right now. Like it's looking bleak out there.
Yeah.
Soon, y'all.
That's right. It's coming.
Soon. It's coming. It's coming. It really is. I believe it. It's coming. Okay. Do we want to get into some of these?
Okay,
Oh,
I'll
here.
ask you our first question here. So, Alita, you have such a beautiful style, and we love how you incorporate color. And this is my favorite words that Kate came up with. She said, you incorporate color beautifully and fearlessly in your home. So we want to know how you feel about classic style and like where classic and colorful, like where that Venn diagram crosses over.
It was such a good question. I love that you sent that to me early, Kate, so I could have some time to think about it. I think for me, I stick with classic lines and then fill it in with colors or patterns or something that's more whimsical. So the main, like the building blocks, I guess, like my sofa, my kitchen's white, like the basic stuff is more of a neutral color. So it's like, here we go. But then I'm going to add in like wallpaper is a blue floral, or like I'm going to add lots of pillows and throws that are all kinds of fun, bright colors. Or my rug is going to be, the rug that I have in this room is called strawberry wine. It has every color you can imagine. And so I think that being able to keep those classic lines, like I have a craftsman house, it's not, there's nothing weird about the actual, not weird or whimsical really about like the house itself. It's very just, it's a timeless kind of, it has the thick molding and everything. And so like, for example, in my powder room, okay, I have a white pedestal sink, super classic. And then I have a gold bamboo mirror, also pretty classic. But then it gave me the space and the freedom to be able to put a really, really bright pink wallpaper all over and on the ceiling, because it was like everything else is really normal, but I walk in and it's like, okay, but all that thick white trim, from having a craftsman house, it kind of breaks it up just enough that it feels like it's not overwhelming. So
I love that.
I think just being able to add the whimsy in those places where like my tables, all those kind of things are all more, I would say not necessarily less colorful, but maybe just less sha-na-na, let's say.
I love it. And it is fearless to put wallpaper on your ceiling.
Yes. My mom's an artist, so I feel like I get it honest, from her. I'm always looking for like, how can I do this a little bit more different, a little bit more unique, and it's funny because the guys that were putting up, I know my limits, not a handy person, but I know how to find great people to do things that are really handy. The guys that were putting up the wallpaper, I was like, hey, what do you think about, would y'all wallpaper the ceiling if there's enough wallpaper left over? And he kind of looked at me and he was like, I mean, yeah, we could. And so I could tell he was
if that's what you want.
I'm not sure about this. But after it was done, he was like, that was amazing. It made me so happy too, because he's like, it looks so good. But most things that I do are easy to, I mean, you could change. I mean, like if the wallpaper was up and I was like, we could take it down and paint the ceiling white, and I feel the same way about a lot of things that I paint. It's like, it's just paint, it all started really with a pink door. I painted my front door pink. Probably 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. And that, I think that kind of welcomed in all the color everywhere, whereas before it was more, I had color in my kids' rooms, but it was like, that was kind of the gateway. That was the gateway drug for me into a more colorful, whimsical world.
That's so fun. A pink door.
I love that you're
a physical and metaphorical gateway drug.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like there's a lot of symbolism there.
Oh, I had no idea what was coming.
Okay, speaking of your front door, this is going to be a little bit of a tangent, but I need to know if your birds have gone away.
Great question. Okay, for those of you who don't know, am terrified of birds because they hate me. So it's not, it's not an unreasonable terror. I have for years, birds have swooped at my head for no apparent reason. Anyway, I mean, there's documentation. This is legit. So I just don't do birds. But there were birds hanging out on my wreath on my front door. And I was like, I can't with this. Like, I can't live this way. I can't build a nest here. So I asked my stories. I was like, guys, what do we do about this? I mean, do I just burn the wreath? Like, what happens? One of my followers suggested getting a rubber snake and putting it on top of the wreaths, and that would keep them from building a nest there. So I went immediately to Walmart, went to the kids section, got a rubber snake, and y'all, no more birds. Not a single. Yes, it totally worked. And so I welded it because I figured it would be like, it would show and I would scare a bunch of people. I'm like, I don't want Amazon delivery.
Like, I don't want to decorate with a snake.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, I need my deliveries from Amazon. I can't have someone scared of my door. But it's just stayed tucked up on top, and like no more birds have come by at all. So like, thank you to, I mean, sometimes it's that collective, I'm like, everyone throw in help me with this. So the birds have not come back. I mean, I'm sure they've built a nest somewhere else, but they just know most like people are welcome, but birds are not. When you see the pink door, I'm like, this is not for you if you're a bird. So,
well, that is a great tip.
I would never have thought of that.
No, me either. We had a bird on our back porch Monday.
Nope.
Yeah, I immediately went and got my husband, and by the time I did, my dog had caught it. It lived. This is a happy story, but she just had it in her mouth, and he got it out of her mouth and just like sent it on its way.
Wow.
I'm living in National Geographic right
now. But I would like to thank your dog for his contribution to trying to help protect.
He is a retriever.
Yes.
But she was so proud of herself. Like her tail was just she looked
like,
for that
Mom,
bird.
look what I brought you.
Yep.
Sweet.
She looked for 2 days for that bird again on the porch. I think she's given up now, but yeah.
The bird was like, never again.
But I did think about you. I was like, oh my gosh.
Palms are sweating as we're talking about this.
No birds.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm glad. Yes, go on to your house. Hope it didn't come my way.
So, after our side note about birds, let's go back and talk about your love of color and all things colorful. And I know, Emily, you really want to talk about Alieta's most controversial, colorful experiment.
Yes. So I wasn't around for the original nativity. And then this Christmas, some of our mutual friends were like, we're going to start sending her colorful nativities. I'm like, what are you talking about? They were like, look at this. And so, of course, I go back and watch the reel, and people had so many thoughts. Okay, if you haven't seen the reel, she goes to a thrift store and finds, it was a rather large nativity scene, if I'm remembering correctly. And you paint it like neon colors. And like each person has their own color, so it wasn't like a watercolor tie-dye situation, but like every character in the nativity scene had their own color. Baby Jesus was yellow.
Yep.
And
Ian was manger. Mary was pink. I mean,
the internet had thoughts.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I talk about my mom being an artist. She had thoughts, which is funny too. I love because my mom will be like, she's like, you could just spray paint the whole thing gold. Like, I think she was like, I don't know that I love this either, but I love that there's space to be able to consider, hey, how do we want to do this differently? And it's funny because I actually have 2 identical sets. Like, that's what was great about it. I felt more freedom to do whatever to this because I had a set and I found one. It was at an estate sale actually, but still is the exact same set. So I thought, okay, I've got one that's, pretty and pristine, and then let's do something fun with this one. And so, I had never seen anything like that where people, where like each figure was a different color. And I thought this would be really fun to do. And so I do love that. Like, I mean, my followers are the most precious. So even the ones, even the ones who were like, this was not my style, but I love that you tried something, like they're sweet and Southern and they're saying it like that, like, that's so fun. Or my sweet mom, who really was just like, if you get tired, you could just spray paint it all, which is the best part about painting something. It's so easy to go back at. I mean, that's, like next year, maybe I will tie-dye it. I mean, that's kind of a fun idea. But it's funny when something gets a little viral on Instagram, then people who don't follow you start seeing it. And that's when you get the drive-by comments. And y'all, they were just hilarious. I mean, I was like, all right, everybody pop some popcorn. Let's sit down. Let's read through all these because, I mean, people were not happy. You just have to laugh because it was like, wow, my favorite was somebody said, this is so funny. Somebody said, oh, Jesus is going to want to talk to you about that. And I was like, and I just started laughing. I just replied back. I was like, I talked with him this morning. We're good. Whatever. I was like, I think he's okay with this. It wasn't his actual, the real baby Jesus in the nativity didn't look like actual baby Jesus in this nativity scene either.
Yeah.
He may not have looked like he and the manger were all the same color, but it wasn't
It's
an accurate
not like
depiction
it was
before.
hand painted by Mary herself.
Yes, exactly.
So it was okay to take a risk.
It's funny the things that feel more precious to people, and then the things that people are like, why didn't you do something more, interesting with this? And so, but I mean, I love pulling it out each year. I mean, I guess I did it a couple years ago, and each year I pull it out and I'm like, yeah, let's pull it out again this year. But who knows? Next year we may go tie-dye. Maybe I'll decoupage it. I mean, who knows?
Oh, that would be fun.
Right?
Put some polka dots on there. Glitter.
Do love some glitter. See, there's so many options, right?
The options are endless.
That's rhinestone.
About the creative space is that you can change things whenever you want, make them
right? Exactly
like your Nancy Myers skeleton.
Yes,
for Halloween. It was so cute.
It made me so happy. Like the whole time I was decoupaging that, I just was like, Nancy would be so proud. And that's one of the things I love that y'all talk about Nancy Myers, because I was like having a Nancy Myers fall. And so I tried to make decisions on how I decorated my house this fall. And when I made it was just a white plastic skeleton that hung on your front door. I don't like scary. I mean, I'm too much of a scaredy cat. So, but I was like, now if I put some blue, some toile on this could work for me. So I did the whole thing. I decoupaged it. And my husband was like, what are you doing? And then he saw it and he was like, that's really good.
Gotta love the husband.
It was so fun to do that. So that was a really fun project.
Yeah. I don't do scary either. I need to do I want a fun Nancy project. What do you have on your porch for spring?
Well, fortunately, I still have my wreath, which is great. And then I have I really wanted, Emily, you talked about how much you love blue hydrangeas. Okay, I do too. I think they're gorgeous. And they look good against a pink door. But I wanted like a really pretty sash. Right now there's green boxwood wreath with a sash is having a moment here in the South. But I just couldn't find any that had hydrangeas as a pattern or that weren't just so expensive. So I found on Amazon a baby blanket that is blue hydrangeas with white, and it's gorgeous. And so I just I wrapped it up and tied it around it, and it is so cute. So right now that's my front door. And then I'm waiting just a little bit longer till the last frost, and then hopefully we'll get some, put some plants out there too. But I'm also just refreshing. I think changing out pillows on the front porch is always a good idea. I have a big porch swing. That was my non-negotiable when we were looking for a house.
Is it a porch like a bed swing?
Yes.
I never knew about them until I moved to Alabama.
They'll change your life, not to oversell it. They will change your life. And so we have a double rocker, and then we have the porch bed, whatever out there. And so I've got some pillows coming that are all the fun colors, because I just feel like in spring it's like, yes, change out all the stuff on the front porch. So those hopefully next week will be out. So I'm excited for that. Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. My pillows are looking sad.
Yes, mine are too. And all of mine got knocked over this week in the crazy weather.
It was so windy. Yep.
Porch bench went over. I went out there. It was completely over. The cushion was out. Planter was
laid everything down.
Yes.
We went into storm prep mode. We were like, we gotta lay it all down. Take the flag down. Push the planters up against the house.
Yes. See, y'all are good neighbors. We went out of town. And this was, I will say, over Christmas when I still had 2 giant hot pink nutcrackers on either side of my door. And we were out of town, and there was a bad storm that came through, and my nutcrackers blew out into like my yard, and my precious neighbor across the street, they went and got the nutcrackers and put them in their garage. That's how great they are. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm so high maintenance. Y'all are the best. So
they were like, actually,
Donna is the greatest.
We just didn't want to see them laying down. They were sad.
I know. Well, I was like, I'm sure it was like super tacky, but also they're just great. So I try to be more aware if there's gonna be a storm. Like, I'm gonna try not to have anything blow out onto anyone else's yard if I can help it. So,
have you ever had a glass patio table explode?
Wow, no. Have you had that happen?
Yes. So growing up, we had, like the little metal patio tables with the little glass things, and there was an umbrella in it, and we did not put the umbrella down. And okay, the 90s were different. Like, you didn't have these like minute by minute weather things, right? So I'm sure a storm just like popped up and we weren't prepared. And the umbrella was up, lifted the table off the ground and smashed it down. And then the patio was just covered in glass.
And you found shards of glass for like the rest of the year.
The whole patio was like surrounded by like these really pretty like mulch beds. I mean, there was just glass
everywhere.
So we will no longer have anything glass outside. Also, just if the sky's getting a little dark, put that umbrella down.
That's right. Just go crank that down. Wow. Okay. But see, I would never have even anticipated that.
No.
So, I mean, I would never have thought that was something I needed to prepare for.
Right. And so I think I'm now a little bit like extra storm cautious because I was young and impressionable.
Yes. Once you've lived through an exploding table, I feel like it affects you the rest of your life. Yeah.
An exploding table. That's really funny. So you talked about your colorful nativity came from an estate sale. Right. And I feel like you are like the queen of thrifting in estate sales.
Oh, I do love to go. And that's something else my mom, like, we grew up going to estate sales and to thrift stores and to garage sales. And so I love having stuff that's unique. It doesn't look like everybody else. I mean, there's some stuff you want to have like everybody else, but I like for my home to have more of a curated feel. And so an easy way to do that, and it's also a lot more cost effective, is to go and shop secondhand. You can find things that are more unique. And I mean, it's also great. Like, we're trying not to have everything go to a landfill, and it's like, well, great. Here's these beautiful pieces that have lasted through how many generations, or, these people it's been passed down through this family and they don't need it anymore. Well, somebody else could really use it. And so it's like, oh, I can see this in my space. Let's give it another life here. So.
I love that.
And something I texted Emily last night saying, "Oh, I want to talk about this on the podcast," but I feel like this is a good time to plug it in here too. Right. What do you think about like the stuff you find sometimes at thrift stores or estate sales and the quality? Because I feel like a lot of the times the stuff that we're finding that's brand new, like the quality is not the same.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like that's something that comes up a lot too in discussions about fashion. Like, there's the fast fashion trend kind of right now, and I'm not saying like don't order from places that, send you cheap stuff quick. I'm not saying that. There's a place for that too, but those things are not going to last. And so you end up having to buy more, so it's like, it's not cost effective long-term, and it's not great for the environment, but I think when I'm looking at thrift stores, like, okay, I went to Sozo Trading, which is so great here in Birmingham last week. And I found several gorgeous, like, milk glass pieces, or like the heavy, like crystal. I mean, like, just these beautiful, this is going to last. I mean, it's been around, for 60, 70 years now. And, and it may be around another 60 or 70, like whenever I change out my style next, and I take it to a thrift store, someone else is going to be able to have it and be like, this is so beautiful. This is so precious. And so I think the quality is made to last longer. And some things feel more, I guess, maybe well-crafted. I mean, not to knock current, creators of things. Obviously you can find things that are well made now, but I feel like there's some stuff that is just, it's like people are trying to recreate what it was, I think a lot of times. And so I love being able to find pieces that are really special, that are, just like so well made. And so I love to give them a new home. So I think that's a great selling feature to go thrifting, to go to estate sales, is like, yes, it's like you're investing in something that's going to last longer.
For sure. And things are just like mass produced, and you cut corners or figure out how to like make it as fast and as inexpensive as possible. Like you said, there's always a space for that, but it's nice to not give me something that's like handmade or made really well.
Yeah.
that you're gonna have
Yes,
forever.
absolutely.
That's amazing. Okay, so do you have a favorite thrift find? Like, what is your favorite thing you've ever found? If you have one, if you can pick. Is that like picking
I
a
mean,
favorite child?
I think it's wow, that's such a good question. Okay, and it's a bittersweet story. So,
Oh.
but this is good. Okay, I found this gorgeous Louis Vuitton. Oh, and I want to say it right because I know it's all French, but it's like the poche. I don't know. It's like it's like a clutch. And it was with the ballet lining inside. So it's that pink lining inside, and it was beautiful for $55. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it was on, I mean, and it was it was on the website, for obviously a lot more than that. So I was like, yes, please. And it didn't have the strap. So I ordered the wristlet strap from, Louis Vuitton or whatever. So they sent it to me. And so I attached it or whatever. And I was like, this is the greatest. Cause I love a smaller purse. I don't carry huge purses. But when I carried it for a little while and I was like, it's just too small. Like it was too small. I couldn't put my phone in it I was like, okay, the basic things. I need my wallet, my phone, my keys, and some lip gloss. And I was like, that's not too tall of an order, but it wouldn't hold all that. So I ended up instead I made it into a giveaway because I was like, well, okay, this is something that I was really excited to find. And even though it wasn't quite the right size for me, I feel like, my followers who love to follow the thrifting finds, like one of them would really enjoy this. And it was only $55, so I ended up doing a giveaway for it. And the girl who won was so happy, because she was like, I really wanted a Louis Vuitton, but it's like, that's expensive. And, and you wonder again, will it be what I want? And so she was so happy. And so, so I guess it had a good ending, but so now I'm always looking for a slightly larger Louis Vuitton, but it was so exciting. I was like, and I saw it like in the glass case and I looked at the guy, I was like, can I see that? And he was like, yes. So it was like, he knew. He was like, I know you're going to want to see this.
Please let me see that.
Yes. Yes. We'll hug it. It's okay. Look away for a minute. And yes, I want this. So.
That's a good find.
It was a good find. So it's always, I'm like, always check the glass cases. You never know what kind of treasures you'll find when you go into the thrift stores. So.
No. Okay, but this is separate from that because I don't want anyone to feel like they're upset about that. But
Yes.
do you ever feel like, have you gone to, like Belk has one and Von Maur has one, like the resale of the luxury handbags?
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, they all have bad juju because someone's husband bought them for them, then they're getting divorced and they go dump all of their bags that their ex bought them. That's where my mind goes. And I'm like, why did someone get rid of this? Is this particular bag have bad juju in it?
Okay, I love that so much. And I probably some of it's rationalizing, but here's what I would think about that.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so yeah, like let's say some guy did you dirty, then yes, you're gonna try to resell it and get the money for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're like, hey, he spent all this money. Well, I'm gonna get the money. I just don't want the item to remind me of it. So maybe that's where you would resell. I can't even believe I'm theorizing like this. Okay, but here's what I feel like in thrift store, it's like somebody was cleaning out somebody's stuff and was like, oh, I don't even know, like whatever. Like I feel like that was some teenager or somebody's off at college and the mom or dad was like, oh my gosh, all their stuff is such a mess in here. I'm just scooping all this up and we're just dropping it at the thrift store. So it feels to me more like, I don't know that you would just donate it. If it was something like you were really mad at this guy, you would want like to get the money for it.
Okay.
Maybe that's the narrative that I will believe.
I think that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, because that's what I always look at them. And I love the patina on a bag that's been worn. And like it's it has a story, but like I want it to be a good story.
Yes, I know.
I don't want it to be an angry story.
Yes. That is hilarious. And I love that. I mean, who even knows? But that is, now I feel like anyone who sells something like that needs to have a note inside that's like, here's the story of this purse.
Right. I got a different one and I don't use this one as much. I don't have daughters, so I'm donating to the thrift store.
Yes, exactly. I need the story. I need the background on it from now on. So
it needs to be authenticated. No bad juju.
Yes.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Bring in a bag shaman.
Yes, exactly. Or you could just sage it,
Right? Yes. Half authentication, half saging, and then we know it's good to go.
Absolutely. I think that's just a smart move. Yeah.
I love your finds on your page when you share like the creepy clown.
Yes.
I do tend to find a lot of creepy dolls, creepy clowns. There's just so much weird stuff that I see at garage sales or estate sales or thrift stores. And that's honestly, it's funny because that used to be the stuff I would just text to like my husband and my friends. I'd be like, y'all look at this. And I'm like sneaking pictures, you know, when I'm at an estate sale or something. And then we're all just dying laughing. And then I started sharing it to my stories because I was like, I wonder if anybody else would want to see the weird stuff. Yes, it is
Do we
like
ever?
we cannot
We
get
do.
enough. So and it's funny. I went to an estate sale, which Kate sent me the link to, which I was like, thank you, Kate. Last week
It was a wild ride. Just
it
for
was
the
a
itself.
doozy.
I'll
Yes.
see if it's still online
Me
and send it to
too.
you, Emily.
I've never seen anything like it, honestly. Like there were so many people there, which always makes it a little more interesting if it's really packed out because you're trying not to bump into anything that's breakable, you know.
Right.
Because they had lots of stuff for sale and they had some really high-end things like rose medallion. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that, but this gorgeous china, like they had lots of that, but then they had all this weird stuff and there were so many clowns, like clown stuff everywhere. So I'm just snapping pictures, you know, because now I'm like, let's see, you know, I've got to share all this with everybody. But I was in one room in the downstairs because there was just weird. Everything was just weird. And I just said, I mean, really, like I thought kind of under my breath, but y'all might have noticed I'm a loud talker. But I was like, there is just a lot going on in this house. And everyone in the room was like, oh my gosh, I know. And I was like, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to say anything.
Oh, I hope the link is still live. I want to see it.
It was so weird. But it's always interesting to see how people, you know, how they lived or whatever. And you don't know, again, you don't know the story. Like they might just be like, we're moving and we just want someone else to, you know.
Right.
But there was just a lot. But yeah, clowns are just a no-go for me, but especially creepy clowns. I can't with that. Have you been thrifting before?
I mean, not in a really long time.
Yeah.
I don't go as much as I would like to. Y'all know I love to go to the Brass Bear.
Yes.
I've always wanted to go there.
Which
So
is not a
fun.
thrift store, it's an antique store, but still kind of
They have
same
great stuff.
vibe.
Yes.
And I'll stop by the Salvation Army that's right here near me sometimes.
Yeah.
Vapor. I love Vapor. But my friend Rachel, who I keep talking about, hey Rachel. And so she stops in there after work and finds goodies for me sometimes. She'll be like, look, do you need this? Do you need this? Do you need this? The answer is yes.
What
But
a fantastic friend. God. What a gift.
We need to add a sterling silver champagne bucket to Alieta's list as well.
Yes.
I want one so bad. So Rachel's been looking for one for me.
yeah.
I'll keep an eye out. Yeah.
Or glass, you said, right?
Or yeah, glasses. I would prefer like the silver, but glass is fine too. But I want that shape for my entryway.
Yes.
Um,
Manifest it. That's right.
Yeah.
We'll find it.
We've been looking.
yeah.
I want to go to Sozo though. I still haven't been to that one.
So fun. Oh, it's great.
I've been to Stash, Brass Bear. I go all the time.
Yes.
Not all the time, but whenever I can. And then I just went to what's the one in Bluff Park? Bluff Park.
The Mercantile. Yes. Such cute stuff.
I guess it was like my unicorn thing I found. I wanted a painting that like represented my kids. So growing up, and my parents still have it in their house. It was, I think it was from Kirkland's. It was a very like 90s print, but it's 3 little girls reading a book. And I have 2 sisters, and my mom's an English teacher. I used to be an English teacher. We're all big book people, right? And it's still hanging in their house, and I still love it. And it just is sentimental to me. And I wanted something like that for my family.
Yes.
And I walked in there, and seriously, one of the very first booths, there was this painting of, it was like a very Mary Poppins looking lady with like a parasol, but they're on the beach, and it was 2 little boys and a little girl. And I was like, that's it.
Meant to be.
And it's an original. Everybody's like,
my
oh,
gosh.
it's a print of this other famous one. I'm like, it looks like that, but it's not, because I have Google lensed it like over and over, and I cannot find it. It has a name on the back, and there is an artist with that name. I can't remember it now. I have to take it off the wall and look. But I haven't been able to find a whole lot about him. But it is old. Like the nails holding the canvas in the frame are rusted.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
I
What a
love it.
find. I mean,
I
what an
know.
amazing
Special.
find.
It's on my Instagram. I think I posted a reel with it
I
like
need to go
kind of
back
on
and
there.
look
You'll
because
have
I'm
to
like,
look
that
at it.
sounds familiar. I found pink depression glasses there at
I love
that. And that was
glasses.
a unicorn for me too. Because I love depression glass and like I have a bunch of clear ones. I'm basically always like, no depression glass left behind. You know, like if
Yeah.
I see one, because we're hard on glasses and we like to have a lot of people over. So it's like we basically, if one breaks, it's like if you see them at a good price, I just buy those. But I had never seen the pink ones in real life. And they had a set and I was like, so I carried them all up to the front like they were babies, and so
That's
they have
awesome.
great stuff there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much fun when you find the things that you just love.
Yes.
You just never know. It's always an adventure to go and look and
Yes.
see what and you never know.
I know. It's the thrill of the hunt. It's
It
the
is.
thrill of the hunt. So
It's very fun. Now I think maybe this weekend I'm gonna have to take a little field trip for
that's
myself.
right.
Super fun. Have you ever gone to, I'm gonna probably say this wrong, Lesho, Lesho? They're
Oh,
also in Bluff Park, really near
okay.
the Mercantile.
Yeah.
But they only open once a month. They have like a warehouse sale once a month.
I need to
And
do that.
two ladies who are friends. I
Yeah.
think it's this weekend. I'll look and send it to you.
Like, just text that to me.
Yeah, I will. But I've found some really cute stuff there too.
Hey, that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah,
So,
it's very curated and put together, but it's always fun to see what they have. And they make
yes.
it like an event. They have little snacks and drinks and it's
Hello.
fun to go to. Yeah,
I know.
it's very fun. And then you can hop over and go to the other
Yes.
shops that are right there. So it's a fun one. I think it's usually the first weekend of the month, so I think it should be this
Okay.
weekend. I'll send it to you.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so we talked a little bit about this earlier before we were like official, but do you have a unicorn find? Because you said you had an answer and then you said, "Oh, I might change it."
I know. Well, I really loved, what was it that y'all said that I was like, this is what I need to make my unicorn?
The
A tulip
tulip
hair.
hair.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. Well, now I'm like, now that's what I need. I need to write it down so I'll remember. But no, I'm like, what I'm really always looking for right now is a pair of chase lounges outdoor. Like I want some wicker chase lounges
Ooh.
for out by the pool. And I mean, I'm happy to get new cushions or get things recovered, but I just want like, like a good thick, I
Like
want
the
something from the
rolled-
70s. I want
Yeah.
something that's like Palm Beach 1970s.
That sounds amazing. When you find it, I'm gonna put my caftan on and we'll come right over.
Yes, exactly. Right. So that's something that I have not found yet, but I will continue to look for.
That is so fun.
Now, do you do a lot of Facebook Marketplace browsing?
At different seasons of my life, I have in a while, just because I basically really need to get rid of more stuff from my own garage. But I do like to sometimes I'll just go look and see like what have we got around here, like what all, because Facebook Marketplace is a great place to both to buy and to sell. Like I cleared out a bunch of stuff back. This has probably been 10 years ago or so, but I used to I would go buy things at garage sales and sell them on Facebook Marketplace, and I paid off my husband's car. I mean, you can really, if you know what you're looking for, you can really sell stuff and make some bank. It was my little side hustle back then. But of course, I mean, our kitchen looked like a disaster, because I had all this stuff. I was like, well, someone's going to come pick this up tomorrow, whatever. And my husband was like, but I just want to be able to sit here.
My breakfast nook is not breakfast nooking. Okay?
Exactly. So I mean, there is great stuff to be found there. I feel like people tend to, it may not always be priced as well. Sometimes the prices are a little bit higher, I feel like, because I do love to go thrifting or love to go to estate sales. It's like, okay, well, am I gathering up so much stuff now? How do I keep this in rotation kind of? And so one thing that's great is we have so many wonderful thrift stores in Birmingham that are easy to donate to. There's some that will come and pick up from your house. There are some you can just drive. I pass a drive-by every single day, where I can just drive through and drop off. And so I try to keep kind of a revolving door. If I'm bringing something in, I'm like, okay, well, I haven't used this in a while. Let's go ahead and, let's pass that on. And they all support amazing ministries or outreaches. So you feel good about, because sometimes I'm like, oh, should I try to sell this on Facebook Marketplace? Maybe I get some money for it. And sometimes you want to do that. And sometimes it's the hassle factor is just high, it's just too high. So, but it's okay, but I know that this is going to go help a really great program. So it kind of makes, it kind of takes that pressure off of, I should try to sell all of these things. And also what I've been doing recently, I know you mentioned Stash, Kate. I didn't realize this, but you can sell things on commission at Stash. So, which is a fantastic way to do stuff. If you're like, I don't have time to sell all these things or to price it or to have a booth somewhere or whatever, as I have been cleaning out my garage, basically that's like my whole life. Well, like, you text them pictures of the things and they'll give a thumbs up or thumbs down. And then you have a time and you just go drop it off and they price it and they sell it and they Venmo you some money, and so it's like, it's so great. So I'm like, that's like my best recommendation, like for the whole podcast. I feel like that is like a game changer. I was so glad somebody told me that, because I was like, I love to come shop here. And I figured there were just people who, who just, that's all they curated things for them, but they will sell your items. So, but that's a good way.
No idea.
No, isn't that wild?
Such a good tip.
I know.
Also,
but that makes me want to clean out more sometimes too, because I'm like, oh, I mean, I haven't used this in a while. I'm like, but I'm like, okay, but this is easy. I can just drop this instead of having to try to take pictures and send it, post it on Marketplace and try to meet up with somebody or whatever. It's like, let's let them handle it. So it's good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I also have to plug the Stash Instagram page, because it is so funny. It is so funny. I share their posts all the time. They always just have funny little jokes and I love it.
Yes, they're amazing. The staff there is fantastic. So,
well, what's in that koozie?
Oh yeah,
Diet Dr. Pepper.
You were right, Kate.
Okay, before we got on and we were looking at your Instagram and trying to do a little bio for you. And Emily goes, "What is DDP?" I was like, Diet Dr. Pepper.
And I do always, even though it was in a thing, I always dent it with my thumb, like right there, because it makes it flow better. Okay. I don't know if it really does exactly. It makes it easier when I want to just key the side and just,
yeah, exactly. Like, there you go.
That's too funny.
That's amazing.
That's too funny.
We were talking about that.
Yes. Diet Dr. Pepper forever.
Okay.
Tell us your favorite Nancy movie. We've talked a lot about Nancy and how much we love her, but we want to know what your favorite Nancy movie is.
Town, Fatherhood Brad. Town. I mean, I must think about that house at least twice a week my whole life.
It's your Roman Empire.
Yes. I mean, honestly, I'll be like, how did they do their backyard? Let me think back on that. I mean, it's just everything about it. I remember I saw it in the theater. I was in 7th grade. So I'm a little bit older than y'all. But we went for my friend's birthday party. How fun is that? Little movie. We all went and saw it. And then I went back and saw it again. And then I went to Blockbuster. When it came out, you could buy just the VHS of it for $9.99. And I was like, Dad,
Sold.
I mean, this will pay for itself in 2 weeks, So, I mean, it is quintessential to me that it's like, this is Nancy Meyers. That is the house that I always, think of. And just, even the way they describe it at the beginning, it's warm in the winter, cool in the summer. It looks fantastic with Christmas lights, all the details of it. I love it so much.
It's a character all on its own, that home.
Yes, I know. Yes.
Oh, that's such a good one.
That's a really good one.
Yes.
Let's see what else.
Okay. I'll ask this one because I love to read. Are you reading anything?
I'm more of an audiobook girl at this stage in my life, just because I'm in the car a lot driving people places. But I did pull, this is what I'm loving right now. And I didn't want to say it wrong. It's the author's name wrong, but okay, it's called Feel. It's on Julie Pascal, I believe is how you pronounce it. But my friend Rebecca recommended this to me, and it's like a liturgy, but okay. I'm just going to show y'all on the first page. It has, if you're a feelings person like me, I'm a very deep feeler. And sometimes naming, identifying what is it that I'm actually I'm like, oh, I just feel, and it's like, that's not a word, that's not a real thing. And so I could say, okay, so one of these is anger. Okay, well, I'm like, I feel angry. But then it goes through and it's like, okay, agitated, frustrated, resentful, numb, skeptical, furious. And so it kind of helps you name. And if I'm like, you know what it is? It's skeptical. And it has a page. So I'd turn to that page. And then it has a liturgy, which is just kind of it's almost like a prayer and a Bible verse and kind of just some thoughts on putting words into those emotions. And then it helps me then to reframe, okay, yes, so this is how I'm feeling. This is probably why I'm feeling this way. And where is God in this? And y'all, I mean, I can't even tell you how much I love this book. And I've already gotten it for friends. I mean, this is my go-to right now. So it's fantastic. So I can't recommend this enough. It's really, really good. Yeah.
I feel
that sounds great.
Giving something a name takes away its power too.
Yes, exactly.
What a name while you're feeling is so good.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So it is really, really good.
Do you keep it on your nightstand?
Yes. Okay. I have that on my nightstand, or sometimes I'll have it on my coffee table because I also like, I'm always telling my family, I'm like, if you need to look up something, like you can, I'm always, no one else is doing it, but I'm like, but you can. It's here if you need this.
Right. Well, because that's one of our like questions is like, what is on your
Yes.
nightstand right now? And you need to be honest.
Yes.
What's your
Okay.
nightstand?
Okay. Right now, what is on my nightstand is okay. Well, the pretty things. I have a pink ginger jar lamp that I got at a garage sale, which I love.
Sounds beautiful.
A frame from Susan Gordon Pottery that is pink hydrangeas, and it's a picture of me and Logan, me and my husband. And then I have this gorgeous pink scalloped coaster. So that's the pretty stuff that's on there.
Okay.
And then the other things that are on it right now are there is another devotional book because I was trying to look at it before I walked out of there this morning. Devotional book, Advil, some pens, and my laptop. So it's not as messy as it could be, but I really, it's funny because I mean, I keep that on my bedside, but really, I feel like I have my own my curated where I keep all my like stuff is next to my seat on the sofa in a bowl, So that's more. So I'm like, that's where my special hand lotion that only I use and my Laneige lip gloss, like all that stuff. I'm like, the things that I need, my creature comforts are all like next to my spot that no one else is allowed to sit in. So
I love it. What's your hand lotion?
Okay, it is. Oh gosh, the name of it is. I'm gonna have to look it up, but it is okay. My husband's a doctor. He has to wash his hands and use hand sanitizer all day long, and he is like, "This is the best stuff."
Okay, what about a go-to lip combo? I think you
Yes.
tried the one that Kate and I really like too.
Yes. Okay, and I really liked that. I'm bad about like using a liner and a lipstick. I don't know. I really. It's funny because I basically always need to be able to just put on whatever I'm doing without looking because I basically always put on lipstick in the car. I pulled it out so I could show you.
Ooh.
But it's Pillow Talk, not the dupe. But
Oh yeah.
but anyway,
It's a
but
really
this is
good
like
one.
it's like a different. I don't remember if it was called Rockstar or Superstar or something. So it's a little bit different. So
Oh,
this
it's a
one's
different formula.
that's a different form. This is not showing y'all.
Oh.
But this one, but I mean, I can just put it on without having to look. But it also, it lasts longer. So it's
Really?
kind of a little bit of like best of both worlds. But I have this dream that one day I will get up and be ready in time that I would do my lips at my house. But I'm like, we're not there yet.
Not quite there yet.
It's always the last thing.
2025 goal.
Exactly. Because I'm generally like either I'm like, okay, well, I've got to like finish my breakfast or I've got to like, I'm drinking all this stuff and then I want to put it on after, whatever. And then I'm like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
put it on in the car and yeah. But I'm like, eventually we will get there. So.
To a lip stain. They're my current.
Now I do have a lip. I did get a lip stain that you recommended. I really do like that too.
Oh,
That's
the Wonder
really fun.
Wonder Skin one, right?
Yes.
The blue one.
Yes, I love it. And it's always I love freaking out my family because I put it on and I walked out and my husband was like, and I was like, it feels off.
So I like to do it like I do my skincare and then I immediately put it on. So it's like drying while I'm like doing my eye makeup or something. So it feels like I'm multitasking. I'm not like waiting for it to work.
Yes. That's what I need to like leave myself like a post-it on my mirror that's like, while you're doing this other stuff, go ahead and put the lip stain on. Because that's what I'm like, I'll think about it and I'm like, but I have to go and I can't put this on in the car without looking.
I was in the carpool drop-off line yesterday with hot rollers in my hair.
Oh, good for you.
And hot rollers. My hair was huge.
I bet it was glorious.
It was fine, but
I feel like just as a callback to our earlier conversation about embarrassing moments, my most embarrassing moment was getting in a wreck in carpool line in my swimsuit and cover up. It wasn't curlers, but I was taking the kids to the pool right after school and I had a sheer cover up on over my swimsuit and I got in a fender bender, had to get out and direct the entire carpool in my swimsuit and cover up, directed everybody around so that they could go and then talk to the police officers. Now I'm always fully dressed when I go to carpool. Because like before then I'd be like, I'm in pajamas, it's fine. And now I'm like, no, we are like, now my lipstick may not be on yet, but everything else is totally ready to go.
I had to check the girls in. I had to sign them in pajamas.
It's the worst. Lord, please let this be the most embarrassing moment of my life. Like I hope we never top that. Just always like, okay, hopefully that is like That's the one.
That's it. Oh, it's such a good story though. And you'll always look back and laugh on it.
Oh, and my friends were just like waving and like, blow, like, hey, do you need anything? And I'm like, I'm fine, just keep driving, like just go on through. Like somebody grabbed my kids. I mean, it was great because they were like, I'll get your kids. I was like, thank you. I was like, I'm sure they're embarrassed. That would be great. So
No.
Okay, so last week we started this thing where we always want to end on like an obsession and a confession.
yes.
So as our guest, would you like to go first?
Yes. Okay. Current obsession. Okay. And that one's a little bit trickier because I think right now what I have been loving the most, I've been decoupaging a lot of stuff lately, which I have done at various times in my life, but I feel like really into it right now and like wanting to try more and more decoupage stuff, which feels very crafty. It's very much a throwback to like my childhood. I don't know, like I think we're gonna have a decoupage week on Alita Treasure Hunting in a few weeks. So I have felt very like I'm leaning into like mod. And when I say decoupage, like I mean, I'm sure there's like fancy ways to do it. But I'm just using like Mod Podge, and like some tissue paper and stuff. But it's a fun way to add pattern and color, kind of circle back to that. And then my latest confession, this is sober, but I'm like, but I can see a bag right from here. Recently, I have just been obsessed with pretzel goldfish crackers. If anybody else does, Weight Watchers, you can have 18 of them for 1 point, but they're just so salty. And I like need the salt, So I'm like, so I basically have a bag of pretzel goldfish, like in my car. Same thing. I'm like, it's not in all the same places where I keep my Laneige and my hand lotion, but I'm like, keep one in my car. I have one I can see right from here on the coffee table, but it's like you cannot eat 18 of those and you're like, ooh, that fixed that hit that salty spot, But it's weird because I have all my kids are like way out of goldfish range. It's not like I can pass it off like, oh, it's my kid's goldfish. I'm like, no, they're all teenagers or in their 20s.
Like they're puffy. They're the really good
so
consistency.
Good. It's so good. It's like it's better than any other pretzel. So
No.
So anyway, so that's my weird confession right now.
Love goldfish pretzels too. I will not hesitate to nosh on some goldfish at any point.
Come on over.
Like a combo bag, or
I make my own combo bags.
Pretzel and the regular together. My kids were very into that for a while, and I did not discourage it.
Yes, that sounds good. That's like the caramel cheese popcorn combo in Chicago.
Yes.
That feels like, hey,
so good.
That feels bougie. I know.
Okay, those are good obsessions and confessions. What about you, Emily?
Oh gosh.
Are you ready?
Ready. So obsession probably writes itself here. The Meghan Markle show.
Yes.
On board and love it so much. We talked about her already on here. Just she embodies everything. And she's getting a lot of hate for it. Am I going to, like, my father-in-law's coming next weekend. Am I gonna make him bath salts and like make him little snack bags? No. But you know what? I might like put some extra snacks in the basement for him.
Right.
Like it did inspire me to like want to be an extra good daughter-in-law host for him.
Yes. It's very thoughtful.
It is very thoughtful.
I think all the things she did were very thoughtful.
Yes. Now I did not like her cooking in her big balloon sleeves because that just gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like,
I was going to ask you about that. I was like, how was that shirt?
I live in fear of having wet sleeves of my clothing. Like the idea, like washing my hands or dishes, and like if this little bit gets wet, my day is ruined.
Yes.
Like cannot. So the sleeves are always pushed back because I just can't. I can't do it. So it just gave me a lot of feelings when I saw that outfit. But I'm also like trying to savor them.
Yes.
I'm not watching the whole series at one time.
So you want to spread it out and enjoy.
Yes, I do. But that's my obsession. And I'm probably going to like watch the first two again before I watch the third one because I just want to keep watching it. And then the confession, is that the same one that like I'm weirdly obsessed with that?
It can be both. Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah, probably just that would be my confession is that I keep watching it over and over.
Do you think she's ever going to sell us any of her jam? Like, what do you think?
Yes.
I mean, I know it's like on the website, but I don't think you can buy it yet.
It's not ready to be bought yet, but it's probably going to be very expensive.
I'm just curious. I'm like marketing. I just want someone to help her with like, go ahead and sell it. Like now's the time. Everybody's watching.
We will buy your jam.
Right? I know.
No,
She
I need
does show you how to make it, or at least she was starting to in episode, I think it was 4. I started watching that yesterday, but I'm
Oh,
not gonna lie, I fell asleep. That should be my confession, but it's not. But it's not her fault. I fall asleep anytime I sit down and try to watch a show. So
too.
this is no shade to Megan.
No.
This is just me being tired.
She doesn't feel bad about it. She's okay. She understands.
okay.
She's
You're
she's
still
she's a
streaming
mama.
it.
She's a
Still
mama.
streaming
minute.
it. She is.
That's
She
right.
gets it.
She gets
She
it.
gets
That's
it
right.
for sure. Okay. So my obsession, Emily and I were talking, I think this was before you got on too. We were talking about the DD and I was talking about my love of Diet Coke. And so then I saw an Instagram friend and she's Ryan Reimagined. She's real cute. But she was talking about it's a blueberry hibiscus Topo Chico
Oh,
sparkling water. And she just does that over ice with a little bit of lime juice for a fun little like mocktail
yeah.
situation. And it is delicious. I think
Where
that
do you
might
find the blue hibiscus Topo Chico?
I just got it at Target.
Okay.
Target drive up,
Even better.
all day, every day. And one of my kids likes it too. So I'm happy for that because they're always trying to steal my Diet Cokes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm obsessed with that. I think it'll be my poolside drink of choice this summer.
Yeah.
Very refreshing. And I think it only has like one, I don't know. It's not like super bad for you. It has like 10 calories or something, not a lot of sugar. Yeah. So delish. And there were other flavors too. I haven't tried any others, but
That's really fun. Okay, I'm definitely getting that.
it was
Same.
fun. I'm not a big like sparkling water flavored. Like I can't do a LaCroix
Yeah.
if that's how you say it.
Okay, a LaCroix tastes like you are drinking it, and as you're drinking sparkling water, someone is screaming the name of a fruit at you.
Okay.
So your
Yes.
brain is like, oh, maybe this tastes a little bit like lemon. Like the lemon LaCroix is just plain sparkling water, but someone's going,
I need more than just a kiss of that flavor.
Right,
I
right. I want to actually
force more in. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I don't like LaCroix either for that reason. I'm like, I need a.
No hate to LaCroix, by the way.
Right.
No, but for a long time, I felt like that's all anybody was drinking. And I felt very like, why don't I like this? Everybody else like it?
I think they were pretending to like it.
I came to that conclusion as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so my confession is that yesterday I bought 2 new button-up shirts,
Yay!
including this one because it's yellow
So
and striped. It's so cute. So
It's
that's my confession.
beautiful.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. Not a huge, not a scandal, but did I really need any more in my closet? Probably not, but
You made me want to go. I need to go look them up and see.
yeah, Old Navy is a hot spot right now for them. They had a lot.
They've been doing really well these days. Like
Yeah.
was it 2 years ago they had that blue and pink block print that came out and there was like a dress
Yes.
and a blouse. Like I feel like ever since that piece, whoever did that is carrying on really well for Old Navy right now.
Yeah.
I got some jeans too. They're like the boyfriend cut.
Yeah.
Friend and my mom were both telling me they were really good, and they are.
That's
Mhm.
good.
Well, all right, ladies. Emily, do we have
Very
any other
angry.
questions?
I don't think so. I think we kind of hit everything.
I think we did too.
Oh, I love being with y'all so much. And congratulations on your podcast. I'm so proud of y'all.
Thank you, Alita. It would not have happened without you.
I'm so happy I could get y'all connected and cross y'all's
did.
paths a little bit.
Did. Thank you for being our very first guest.
Such an honor. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see all that keeps happening with this. So proud of y'all.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been fun, and that's the best part.
Fun. Yes,
And-
it's been super fun. Thank you for spending this time with us.
I'm so happy. Can't wait to go thrifting, girls.
Yes, we got to get that on the calendar.
Yes, please.
All
Yeah.
right. I'm in.